Hi guys, and welcome to Number Pursuit game developed using Python. So let me show you guys how this works. Here we can let's try and get this in order so that we can get ourselves a winner. There we go, you have a winner there, and we can also reset and just start it all over there. And one other thing that we can do is you can exit if you want. The choice is yours. So what I am going to do right now is I'm going to show you guys. Let's say we want to exit, reset, or click on exit, and you exit the whole project. So I'm going to exit out now. First of all, click on no and click on yes to exit. So I'm going to start a new project entirely. Let's close this. So let's start by increasing the font size so that you guys can see what I'm about to do. That's 14. Okay, let's make it 16. That's fine. So I'm going to first of all import as follows. Let's say from, click enter, and we want to import it all there. Now let's import random function or random library. That is going to be needed for my shuffling of the numbers. Then the next thing is I'm going to import tickinter.message. That will be used for the message box when you click on end or exit. There we go. Now let's start by creating our class. We say root. That is root right there. Then I'm going to say root dot geometry, and the size is going to be 1350 times 760. Let's say plus 0 plus 0. Close that. There we go. That's the geometry there. Now we go for the title. So we say title. You can just call the title Number Puzzle Game. There we go. Now what about the configuration? I'm going to say root.config the background. Let's say config, and I'm going to just put BG here. Hopefully that should work. Background equals, I'm going to use colored blue really. Let's say colored blue. There we go. I'll change that to okay, that's fine. Now that that is done, I'm going to just kind of like round up the whole process. Roots that main loop there. So before I go any further, I'm going to save this. I just want to be sure that the interface is ready yet. So I'm going to come in here, just call that Pi number puzzle there. Click on save. Now let's run it and make sure it's all working as we want. There, that is it right there. Okay, that's good. The next thing what I want to do is to let's create our root frame. So I'm going to call that root frame. You can call it whatever you want. And root frame, that is going to be equals to frame. And its very frame is going to be housed inside root. Let's say the BG color is going to be colored blue as well. So grab all of these, just bang it right here. That's a comma. Get it parted, and that is going to be approximately 2 comma. Let's get it parted to the x-axis. I'm going to make that about 40, and width. I'm going to make the width 1000 plus, let's say 1350, and the height is going to be approximately, we can make that maybe about 100. Yeah, there. and I'm going to now say relief. That is going to be, let's make that solid. You can change that to whatever you like, but I'm going to make mine solid. There we go. Now root frame dot grid, and that is going to be enroll equals 0, comma, and the column is going to be 0 as well, equals 0. Close that. If I run this now, you guys might not be able to see much, so let's run it. In fact, you won't see anything. Okay, but we are on the move right now. So for us to be able to see what's going on, I'm going to, because I just want to use this for my title, I'm going to grab this and let's create a title in here. I'm going to call that LBL title, and that is going to be a label, and this label is going to be a child of root frame. And let's set a font for it. Enter a comma with a font that is going to be equals area, and the size is about 80. Let's put a comma there first, 80 comma, and I'm also going to make it bold. Close that. And the text content underneath, let's say text, that is going to be this right there, number puzzle. Paste that there. Now let's put a border. We'll make that about 10 BD, comma, and the background. I'm going to leave the background out for now, but I'm going to say, yeah, if we need to put the background, then I'm going to add the background. Let's see. Let's say the color is going to be slick. Let's say con. That is my color. And the next thing is, let's come down here and get it justified. Let's say justify. That is going to be equals, get it centered, comma. Now I'm going to put a border around my label. So let's say border width, a border width, that is going to be here, make it about 12, and relief, I'm going to make that solid. So grab hold of these and you guys should be able to see it then. Okay, if it's solid, it will end up to be black, comma, the width, that is going to be 9. Close that, and let's round up this title. Grab hold of that, come right down here, paste, dots. We want it to, the grid to be in 0 by 0. Grab all of this, paste it right here. Let's run it and see how that's gonna look like. There we go. Now if you notice the background, because I didn't change the background, it's all white. So let's come in here. I'm going to grab hold of this, my background color, and I'll paste it right here. So let's press enter here and bring this one here. Let's grab hold of all of this, cut it and paste it right there. There. So as you have noticed, without adding a background, you see what happened. End up with the default background. So that is it. Alright, that's looking good. Now let's continue with the rest of the interface design. I'm going to copy all of these. The next thing I want to do now is I'm going to create another frame. This very frame, I'm going to call it main frame. mainframe equals as follows. That is my mainframe. It's going to be cadet blue. The width of the mainframe, let's say I'm going to change this to border, make that about 10, and get rid of this padding for now. I might need it, but for now I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm going to make the height, let's go for about 600. It is solid, and this is going to be mainframe. There. Now the mainframe is going to be a child of the root, that's fine, and the role will be 1 because the title role is 0, so this is 1, so that's fine. Okay, now let's run this mainframe and see how that's going to look like. Then if we need to do any other thing, we just get it done. Run. That is my mainframe right there. It's all black, so if you want you can always change the whole appearance. So here I'm just going to say let's get it parallel to the x-axis to make that about 30. That should be a comma. There we go. Run. Okay, looking good. And that. Okay, the next thing is I'm going to create some other frames that will be inside this main frame. Just copy that, and this is going to be right inside the main frame. Copy this, paste this right there. And I'm going to change the name of this to button frame. Yep, and this one is going to be button frame as well. Now, for the bottom frame, let's see. Let's change the width of that to about 700. And this is fine. What else do we need? What about the height of this bottom frame? We make that about 500. Okay. And one other thing that I'm going to change is because I want this bottom frame to be on the left hand side, I'm going to get rid of all of this and just say, let's say get it parked out to the left side. That would be left. Close that, and let's run it and see how that's going to look like. For now you might not see the effect that much for now. Okay, it's there, though you can see it. But if I change this solid to something else, you'll be able to see it. Okay, it's changed to rig, so let's run it now and you guys see what I'm talking about. And that is it right there. I'll leave it like that for now. I'm going to change it all though as time goes on. Okay, now let's come in here now. I'm going to enter text in there, and let's just grab hold of this, paste that right here, and the text, I just call it number puzzle. Get rid of that. And what else do I want? What about the font? I'm going to get hold of these fonts here, paste it right here, and change it to, let's go for about 12. I'll press enter here so that you guys can see what I'm up to. And what about the color? Okay, grab hold of this cons like, and I'll just paste it right here. There. So I'm going to save it. Let's run that and you see what I'm talking about. There we go, look at that. Okay, that is fine. Close that. Okay, I'm going to copy this again just to speed up the whole process. Grab a hold of all of these and come right down here, paste that. That is going to be to the right, so I'm going to call this score frame. and there. And this call frame, I'm going to change this to right. There we go. The width, we make that about 540, and the height of this, I'm going to leave it as, let's just leave it like that for now. While in here, I'm going to change this text here to score recorder, or score recorder, okay? Score recorder. So come right here now, let's try that out, see how that's gonna look like. There we go, look at that, it's coming up now. Now exit out. Okay, let's do one more thing. I'm just going to get this, I'm going to get it padded, this call recorder. Let's maybe paste that right here. Yep, somewhere here. No, right here. And I'm going to make that, so let's say about 1, because there isn't much different when I saw it the last time. Let's run it and see. Okay. Alright, now let's start populating this call recorder itself. So the first of all, I'm going to grab hold of this again. So come right down here, might as well just speed that up. Okay guys, these, I've added 3 other frames. There they are. The count click frame, the winner frame, reset and exit frame. Okay, let's run it and see how that's gonna look like. Click on run. There we go. See that guys? But the thing is, I don't want the color of this. Instead of ridge, I'm going to change it all to solid. And let's close this as well. So all of these ridge, let's copy solid, just change them all to solid. Just this couple there. So I'm going to select Control H and just put that thing there so that the system will look for it and just replace it all. So read there and solid underneath here, replace all. There we go. So let's run it now, see. I think I'm going to prefer the black one, the way the black interface is. You see that guys? Kind of like give me some design that I feel like. I think that design is good. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. Close. Now the next thing we want to do is let's add some variables right underneath here. So come right down here. Let's move it up a little bit so that you guys can see. But first of all, let me just show you the lines of code for the frames. Let's take it from the top and down. There. Okay, now underneath here, I'm going to declare the following. The first one is going to be click counter, and my click counter equals 0. Next, followed by display clicks, and display string, that is display click, that is string, and display clicks, that is going to be display click dot set the following: total clicks. There we go. I'm going to say plus, and let's enter carriage return plus 0. Okay, so now declare this variable. I'm going to call that game state, that is going to be game state string, and that is going to be string variable there. Now that that is done, I will now create two functions. The first one is going to be update counter, and the second one is just going to be the game state update. There we go. Okay, now let's create a class for our button. So come right down here, let's say let's say class button, and my class button, let's define the following: initialize, that will be self, comma, enter the following parentheses, text, comma, x, comma, y. Those are my parameters. Now let's say self dot enter value. Okay, I've just created a text in there that is going to be a text, and let's create another one that's going to be text as self dot txt intake, that is going to be a string variable. Okay, let's speed up. Right there, guys, those are the lines of code that will create my button. So have a good look at the class for the button, and underneath here I'm now going to create another function for the shift. There we go. Those are the functions for the shift. Right now you won't be able to see the button yet. Now before I go any further, I'm going to do one more thing. Let's come right down here and create another function for my exit. So I'm going to call that iExit. iExit, that is going to be exit, iExit, that will be equals tickinter dot message box. Message box dot, so that will be ask yes or no. Yeah, right there I'm going to select this, ask yes or no, and that is going to be number puzzle, comma. So the message is confirm if you want to exit. Right there. Okay, so let's use an if statement. If iExit is greater than 0, then we just want it to destroy. There, press enter and get it returned. There we go. Now I have three functions. This is the first one. Okay, the first function that will create my button. The next one, that is to shuffle around. I haven't called any of these yet, but let's run it. If I run it, you won't see anything anyway. I just need to create those buttons now and some labels. Now right underneath here I'm going to create some labels. So the very first label I'm going to create will be for the counter. That is the counter label. As you can see, I have called the variable display clicks right here, and that should display total clicks plus 0 underneath. Okay, this is it right there. This is what it should display until I start using this very one. Total clicks plus 0. So come right down here, look at it. So I'm going to run that, run. And the first object, there we go, is now created. Now here I'm just going to enter a plain, just a blank label. So end that. And we copy this. We can copy this. Let's paste it right here underneath here. And we change that to winner frame. And here that's going to be winner. LBL winner. Okay, and inside winner frame we're going to enter this very game, this very one, game state string. So come right down here and just paste that in here. There we go. And I'm going to change the height of that to about 100. So let's come here and just run that and see, run. There we go. That's that inside the winner frame. This one we just display if you win or not. And here I'm going to add 2 buttons, one for reset and one for exit. Okay, so right underneath here, let's create 2 buttons. Maybe we can just copy or speed that out, or I can just write that out instead of copying. I'm going to call that BTN exit, or let's go for reset first. BTN, okay, either one. BTN exit equals button, and this button is going to be resident inside reset, the frame that is called reset exit. There we go, that's it right there. Copy that, paste it right in here, comma, text that is equals exit. And the font, I'm going to make that 40. Yeah, that should do. Grab hold of this. Okay, it's 40 regular. If I want to make it bold, all I need to do is comma, just enter maybe bold there. Okay, but I just want it to be regular. Let's make it bold. We can always change that if there's not enough room. So comma, BG equals 5, that's a border. Then I'm also going to add border around it. I'm going to make it about 4, and relief as well. Grab hold of all of this, paste it right here, press enter here so that we have enough room. And underneath here I'm just going to say command equals I exit, this very one, so that we can use that right away. There, close that. And we can also say dot place, that is going to be x, that is equals 250, defining the width, and the height, that will be maybe 10. Then the width there, that will be 250. Let's make that 250, comma, height is going to be about 100. There. So this tells us about the location and the height and width, the width and the height of the object. So I'm going to run it and let's see how that's going to work. There we go, look at the button. Nope. Yes, that is good. I'm going to copy this. The next one is the exit. Paste that right here. As for the exit, this is going to be 0. Or the reset, I mean. It's not the exit. So change the name to reset. I just want to change this to reset. Yeah. Okay, that's reset, and this is going to be reset. And here 40, that is the border, that's the width, that's fine. The solid, the command here, I'm going to use shuffle. Grab all of shuffle and just paste that right here. There. Okay, so I think that is all there is to that. Run the program and let's see for now. There. Though there's nothing for it to shuffle just yet. Okay, you can see we have error there because it's looking out for this. Alright, let's speed that up. So let's make sure it's all saved. Okay, so let's take care of the button finally. Alright, inside the shuffle I call BTN checker. There we go. I'm going to grab hold of the BTN checkers and just declare an array that will house every single button underneath here. So paste that in here now, just say equals, it's an array. And the next I'm going to say the name is going to be 0 for now, using a for loop for y in range of 3. So that will give me 3 rows. Then the next one is going to now be checkers equals array. Alright, so now let's create another for loop for the columns. The range in this case is going to be 4. Okay, 3 by 4. And name, that will be plus equals 1. If the name itself equals 12, then that should be empty. Equals 12. We want that very button that is named 12 to be equals empty, because we only have 1 to 11 on the buttons. So now let's say if btn checkers dot append, that will be append the button. Remember these lines of code, the class for the button here, right here. Okay, so append the button. So that'll be okay, and convert whatever the name is to string, comma, x, comma, y. Then we now want this. I think it should be indented properly. Let's get this into indented. Select all of these. Hold on to the control and indent. And this, okay, that's fine. And we need to now get it appended again. Let's get it dot append, and that is going to be that. Right. Okay, before we go any further, let's just get this one. There should be a column there. There should be another column here as well. Okay, so if we run it now, the buttons should now appear, but we will have one error right here inside the button. Remember, I created empty spot checker there. Okay, we need to create this function as well. Okay, now let's run it and see. Click on run. All the buttons should appear now. There we go, look at that. Okay, now look in here. If I dare click on something like reset, okay, that got reshuffled, but check this out. If I dare click on any of these buttons now, we have error because that was meant to actually reshuffle it. Okay, so end that. Now come right down. Let's take care of that. And right there, guys, those are the lines of code for the empty sports checker right there. Okay, take it from here all the way down here. There. Now, if you notice, I've called another function here, check winner, and check winner here. So let's paste the check winner. Let's enter the lines of code for the check winner right here. There we go. Those are the lines of code for the check winner. Alright, so let's try and let's run it and see how that's going to work. Save that first, save and run. There we go, guys, look at that. Alright, you see it's not shuffled, but if let's click and you see the number increasing there. So if I click on 8 now, or bring this here and click on 8, there we go, we have a winner. It's working as expected. But guess what? The shuffler is now working. It's now working because it's not called. Let's get hold of the shuffler here. There we go, that is it. And we just call it somewhere. Grab hold of that, come right down here. And we can just paste that right above the empty slot checker here. Paste. And now let's run it, and you will notice that the numbers will be automatically shuffled. Look at that. Okay, and that is how you create your own number puzzle in Python. So before I go, let me show you guys the lines of codes again. Come right down here, take it up, take a good look at it, and bring it down, and down again. Now you need the buttons. Get it shuffled, exit, create your display components, initialize the button and the system, and check the empty slot, and finally check who is the winner, if you have a winner there. So run it again one more time. There we go, guys. And with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. And please do subscribe to this, my second channel. I suppose you guys enjoy it. And if you're a DJ Omen channel member holder, you can always click to get if you want the source code. So with that, I'm going to say bye for now. Have a nice day.